Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Listen, we are live once again. If y'all know what time it is, it's a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So that means we are live for another episode of that's right, Book Talk Live. Another episode of Book Talk Live. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sugar Ray Dustin Jr. I'm the founder and CEO of BOBM Publishing, full service publishing company, helped to launch well over 400 artists, 431 to be exact, to number one bestseller on Amazon. But I got news for y'all. Today, I'm with somebody who is way more exciting than me. She didn't launch a book with us yet. I'm gonna say yet because we're getting ready to partner on some stuff. I can't tell y'all the full details, but I'm just gonna say we're getting ready to partner on some things. And she is actually known as the Master Communicator. Let me give y'all just a little bit of her background. Um, and when I tell you that her background is just it's all that. It is literally all that. She is the principal for the Master Communicators Work Writing Services. She's provided writing and coaching services to artists for the past 15 years. I'm gonna say even more than that because I've known her a little bit longer than that, and she's been helping artists to get to where they need to be. She's worked as an editor for a major minority-owned communications and marketing company where she supervised over 50 contributing artists. Let me say that again for y'all. She didn't babysit. She supervised over 50 contributing artists. She's the author of 30 books, ebooks, and audiobooks. She's a board member for the award-winning Brilliant Women in Film, and who also directed and produced her mini documentary. Women in Film. And somewhere this noise is coming in. And let me tell y'all, there's a host of other there's a host of other awards that I could go on and on about for her, but I'm just gonna say she's amazing. She's all that, and she is the founder of this year 2024 Authorpreneurs Summit. Miss Sharon C. Jenkins, how are you today?
I am doing great.
That's amazing. Listen, I told the people a little bit about you, but I want you to tell them in your own words who you are. Tell them, just tell them what you want to, because I got a few more questions for you, and we're gonna go from there.
Well, some people are called to this industry. And as a young girl, I fell in love with authors. They were my superheroes. We all have our own personal superheroes. And when I grew up, I thought that I was going to be this motivational speaker traveling all around the world. And it ended up that I became an author. Started with poetry, then I started doing the spoken word. Then, after the spoken word, I started writing plays. Then, I produced and directed plays. And the bigger challenge was writing a book. And so I bit the bullet, and I have been helping authors ever since. I went to a writers' conference and I wasn't ready.
Hmm.
I was not ready to go up. I showed up, but I didn't have my stuff together because you don't know what you don't know. And so I've spent the last 15, 16 years helping authors know what they know and making informed decisions about this process.
Come on, listen, my superheroes were all authors as well, and that's I I grew up as what we would call this these days. This a cool term, blurred, a black nerd. But when I was growing up, it wasn't cool to be smart. It was not. It was, oh, you read too much. You think you better than us. You've heard the different things.
Mm,
So yeah, just like you, my heroes became those authors of those books that I read from, um, the Think and Grow Rich, the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, um, even Nikki Giovanni, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. Even though they were solid heroes, they were also authors that I could look and say, man, if they did it, I can do it too. And so I salute and I agree with that story. Now, tell me a little bit. You told me that your heroes were authors. You wanted to be this motivational speaker and found your passion in writing. Um, so what is it like to what was that transition like to go from being the speaker to being the writer that you are now?
Um, I went to a series of writers' workshops, and at one of those workshops, the mantra was if you are a speaker, you need to be an author.
Hmm.
So I said, oh, well, these are the experts, and they're telling me I need to write a book. Well, writing a book is personal. That means that you have to go into the depths of your soul and pull out something. You have to create something, and you have to be the foundation for that particular thing. And I wasn't sure that I wanted to expose all my stuff. I just wasn't
Hmm.
sure. So we got to a point where the calling, the compelling was so strong that I tried to do an Ishmael. I got with two other ladies and we put together a poetry book, and it did quite well. But that wasn't what I was called to do. I was called to write a book.
Say
And
that.
so I eventually did that thing. I wrote a memoir, and I was so new in the industry, I didn't even know it was a memoir. Somebody had to tell me.
Hmm.
Oh, so that started my journey. And one of the things I learned at the writers' conference when I didn't show up to go up, when my stuff was raggedy, when I had holes in my drawers, okay? When
Hmm.
I showed up, I learned that people have trouble in the industry supporting writers who don't have fame.
Come
They
on.
told me because I wasn't Oprah that no one would want to read my book. Well, in essence, what they really should have said is I did not have a following. And so, therefore, it would be hard for a publisher to back me
Hmm.
because I did not have a following. Okay. Well, nowadays you can get a following if you are an influencer. That's the time to write a book. And with self publishing, Chicoray, with
Hmm.
self publishing, guess what? You can write a book and you can sell books. Why? Because you can cultivate a following. So you don't have to be Oprah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But I'm gonna go back just a little bit because you touched on something that, as you know, I deal with a lot, and that is um, a lot of people that don't have that following. They wonder, or you've seen it in different groups. You shouldn't go to anybody and pay them to help you with your work, and it's like, who's gonna edit your book for free? Who's
No,
going to, yeah, who's going to design the cover for
no,
free? People need to be paid for their work, right? And most of the people that are saying this, you look at their online presence, and it's like they got 5 friends. It's an investment into yourself. So what do you say to those people who are kind of holding back from investing in themselves?
well, one of the things I would say is when you walk into any kind of store, grocery store, jewelry store, retail store, you are looking, or even if you're surfing on Amazon, you are looking for quality.
Hmm.
So If you don't have any money, you can't buy anything. And you sure can't buy nothing that's quality. What we do sometimes, and as I said, what
Hmm.
we do sometimes is we devalue the effort of professionals
Come on.
who can who can put you in a place where you can be on the New York Times best-selling list. That costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to be in that space. Yes, write a good book, but if you don't have a good marketing plan, it's not going to work. Write a terrible book and have a great following, and your warm audience, your hot audience, friends and they're going to buy your book. So you might, hit an Amazon best-selling list. But the moral of the story is, let's be real. If you are a business person, an entrepreneur, common sense tells you that you need to be able to compete in the marketplace. The
Yeah.
same thing with a book. I don't know why people lose their common sense when it comes to writing a book. They get caught up in this romanticism. I am an author. And that's a good thing because it takes courage to finish that project. 97% of the people who start writing do not finish their book. So if you're part of the 3%, kudos to you. But the problem is, you can't just sit down at your computer and write a book over the weekend and upload it on Kindle, KDP, and expect to be a millionaire. How
Words
many
like that.
people do that? Think about it. So the people that don't know do that. Then you got the people who know what to do, doing what they know what to do. So you're competing in that marketplace. So if your book cannot sit on a bookshelf beside some of the greats, then you already got a black mark against you. Now, I'm not saying, and then some people, I talk a little bit about this in my intro to the summit. I talk about some of the myths, but some people, well, if you just want to put a little book together, a digital product to make some money, that's good, but it's still got to be done well
Quality. Yeah. You
so
still gotta
people
have quality.
can want to buy it. Okay. So, yes, you can write a book. Yes, you can put it on Amazon. Yes, you can sell books, but your book must be in a place where it can compete in a cold market. That's the place where nobody knows you. And the only thing that they have to go on is your book cover, even the way your book is laid out. I
Hmm.
had an agent friend of mine well, I have a coaching program too for entrepreneurs who want to add coaching authors to whatever they do. And an agent told my students this. He said, within 30 seconds, she can tell whether a book was self published or not.
Hmm.
There are things in this industry that have been the normal for eons, for decades. And when a person who is really schooled in what this industry is all about, they can pick up your book and tell. Now, is there a stigma on self published books? I sure hope not, because I've done about 30 of them. So I believe in self-publishing, but I also believe in excellence. And if you go to some of my earlier books and compare those to some of my recently published books, you'll see a vast difference. But I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid to do those books because I knew I had to learn and I knew there would be a learning curve. So I gave myself grace. Okay. So the moral of the story is a person like Sugar Ray and myself, we go through the process. We bruise our knees, we break fingernails, we get screamed at, hollered at sometimes, by editors or designers. Oh, and sometimes even publishers. But we do that because we want your book to be excellent. So, yes, you need to pay us.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Listen, I couldn't have said it better. I could have said it different, but listen, I love what you're saying because yes, there is, and I've seen it. Like we could share. I'm pretty sure we could share stories of different things that have happened since becoming published authors and since starting to work with other new authors. And I'm not gonna say fully published. I'm gonna say new authors because some of those new authors there's this is it just me or have you run into the I call it the best man syndrome, right? Remember in the movie The Best Man, Harper Collins, his book was on Oprah's book club of the week, and they were about to interview him, and it was all out in the blue, and this was his first book. Is it just me, or are there too many people who believe that they are Harper Collins, and it's like
But they can't help it. I'm a rom-com addict.
uh-huh.
So I can tell you if I spend a weekend binging on rom-coms, I can tell you with the greatest assurance that at least 60% of those movies are about an author with an agent who
Mhm.
is doing well. It's the messaging that
Yeah.
we send people, but you don't know about a thing until you're in it. When something might be glitter and gold. You might get you some eye candy on your arm, but that eye candy could be dense.
Hmm.
You understand? Not being able to hold an intelligent conversation, not like the things that you like. You don't know what that person is about until you get to know them. You spend some time with them. So that's why you need to go to writers' conferences. And you need to know when you partner, yes, I said the word partner
I like
with
that.
someone like Sugar Ray or myself, we are bringing our expertise, but in no way are we solely responsible for your
Your success. Come
success.
on. Let me finish that sentence for you.
Oh my God. We're partnering with you. We can't carry the weight of your vision. Our shoulders aren't built for that. We are built to be your partners to help walk you through. I myself am a literary midwife. I will come and hold your hand, but baby, I ain't carried no baby for 9 months.
Hmm.
I can come and hold your hands. I can tell you the best postures to assume. I can even help you push, but that ain't my baby. When you had that baby and
Got
you hold
it.
that baby in your arms, let me try to snatch that baby from you. You'll pull out all of my weed. Okay? So I'm telling you, get that idea. I'm gonna get somebody to help me write this book, and they're gonna write it for me. That's not your true voice. And I do ghostwriting, and I understand what it takes in order to pick up somebody else's voice. Yes, that's possible, but be ready to pay the money for that. Do you know ghostwriters make from 50,000 up to 150,000 per book? Because guess what? If that book becomes successful, you might make millions off of it and you didn't even write a word of it. And the
Mhm.
person who wrote the book lent their talent and skill to you, and you
Absolutely.
making money. I ain't mad at you. Make the money. I want you to make the money. I want you to make James Patterson money. J.K. Rowling's. I want you to make that money, but make sure when you approach your book writing project that it's just like anything else. That's your vision, that's your idea, that's your baby. You laid up and got it. You became impregnated with the idea, And so you got to birth that baby. And in the process, if you pay attention to the team of experts that come alongside you, it will make it easier when you get to have the second baby, the third book baby, the
Wow.
fourth book baby. That's why Sugar Ray and I are here. That's why I'm doing this summit, because I want you to be totally informed on what to expect when you show up. There's no Hollywood misconception.
Mhm.
No. If you do what you need to do, you're going to be successful. You are.
Absolutely. Listen, I like the way you put that. Um, that midwife, that book midwife, because that's exactly what we do. We partner with each one of these authors. And there are some great partners that if we're gonna use the term partners, there are some great partners that I've partnered with along the way and helped them on their journey. And then there are some of those who, yeah, it's like it's better that we never work together again because our cultures and it's almost like our belief systems are completely different. My goal as a coach, as a publisher, is to help you. And but people have to understand, when you make that commitment to help others, you're putting your own dreams on the back burner to make sure that they can become the least bit successful if they follow the instructions going forward. Um, we got to take a real quick break, and I want to jump into what's going on with this summit because I know 2024 is the year for more, and it's going to be one of those years. This summit that's coming up is one of those things that if you are a true entrepreneur, which is an author who is also an entrepreneur, you want to tune in and you want to catch what's going on. We're gonna take a quick break. I gotta take care of the people that take care of me, and we'll be right back in about 2 and 2.
My experience of being a part of the BOBM publishing it's changed my life. It has really changed my life. It's changed my life in areas that have made me so sensitive to the things that I've placed in my first book. Not to mention being a part of an amazing editing team, an amazing founder. Not going to say his name, but it has been absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next project. But being a part of BOBM has changed my life. And it has allowed me to be a part of the winning mindset, as well as my first book, Identity Crisis. I'm so grateful for BOBM. This company has been probably one of the most influential companies I've ever been a part of and wanted to be a part of since actually writing my book. So BOBM is phenomenal. There are no words for this particular company. The visionaries, the editors, it has from all across the board. It has been amazing. So, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Listen, and speaking of, we were just talking about authors who actually take the success and take the coaching and partner and move side by side. And this young lady that we just gave her testimony is one of those authors who has done just that. She's currently working on her documentary, which will be out soon as well, from her book Identity Crisis, and just keeps moving that needle forward. So I always like spotlighting those who are leading the pack. Um, Miss Future Dr. Erica Howard. Um, and so Miss Jenkins, listen, the Master Communicator, the founder of the 2024 Authorpreneurs Summit, um, has published 30 books, has helped well over Man, I don't even want to count the number of authors that you've worked with, but you've worked with a lot, on several committees, on the board for organizations, and continue moving this thing forward in the literary world. And one of the things that you are doing to move the literary world forward is this year, 2024, the year of more, the 2024 Authorpreneurs Summit. So we got to talk about that. Listen, tell me, I want to know a little bit more about the Authorpreneur Summit.
Well, let me tell you, as a visionary, um, I started doing summits years ago, just because I knew that there was a need for an educational component, um, for authors. And one of the reasons why I started doing it, because authors did not understand that they were also business people as a result of the choice to write a book. So I remember being in a place, networking meeting, and them asking all the business people to stand up. And so the authors didn't stand up because they did not have the divine understanding of who they were called to be. So the 2024 Authorship Summit for entrepreneurs is about equipping you to write a book. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to make an informed decision about writing a book, attend our sessions. We have 5 days of sessions, and all are pre recorded. You have 24 hours each day to partake of whoever is speaking. And we have over 30 speakers who showed up. Some of these speakers charge $2,500 to speak, and they volunteered to come to you and share their knowledge, because if you've been in the industry for a while, you understand the need to pay it forward. We are a group of women and men who are interested in your success. And that's why I'm offering it for free. I'll say it again, it is for free. And the title is the 2024 Authorship Summit. I'll say it again, the 2024 Authorship Summit. Now, it was not very hard for me to find 30 people, quality people, jewels, gems, to come and share their information with you, the knowledge, their experience, their expertise. The reason why it wasn't hard is because I've been in this industry for 15 years, and I believe in collaboration. I believe that you need a tribe in order to achieve your goals. And I believe there are certain people who are called to bring people together from diverse cultures so that you can get an understanding of how to market to people who are outside of your realm of influence. We live in a very diverse world, a very diverse world. And I happen to live in the most diverse city in the United States, Houston, Texas. So I understand how locking arms with other cultures expand your reach. I even have a young lady who is a translator who translates English into Spanish because I want you to expand your territory. Not only expand your territory, I want you to make some money. And why do I do that? I want you to make some money because I know that when you're living your best life, maybe you're going to reach back and help somebody else live their best life. So I'm at this point in my career as an entrepreneur where I wanted to revisit doing summits, bringing the resources together for you to make the right decisions about your book writing career. And entrepreneurs, let me tell you something. You have you're already designed. You already have the DNA to write a book. You don't have to wrestle with this is a business because you understand business. And writing a book is like having a business card on steroids. So that's why I'm doing the summit.
Okay. Listen, this is I'm still unpacking everything that you touched on. One, you have 30 speakers,
Actually, it's 34.
34 speakers
Mm-hmm.
that are bringing value.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean major value, because I know at least one of those speakers that's gonna be bringing some value. I know at least two of them that's gonna be bringing some value, and so I know the type of people that you are connected to. So the value is definitely there. But like you said, some of these people are making thousands upon thousands for each speech that they give, but because they wanted to help, just like, I mean, it's a passion thing, you know when you're helping new authors, because they don't always, I want to say, not every new author understands the value that they have in their hands. Most people see a book and it's like, okay, I wrote this little book. And it's like, no, you didn't write this little book. You actually open an entire business if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
There's speaking opportunities that come from it. There's coaching opportunities. There's curriculum. You can have your work trademark. You can have it licensed. You can have other people teaching things that you love doing, and you're making money just because they have a passion for what it is that you wrote. You can turn your book into a movie. You can turn it into plays. And you said you used to write plays and found that books were more interesting. Like you said, your book is literally, and I'm gonna highlight this part so that y'all understand. Your book is literally a business card on steroids, because this is where people get a chance to know you more intimately. That's and this is for those who have written those books on their own. As far as, like, even the authors who've been in the compilations, or the collaborative projects. I got to use these college words. Hey, I paid for them. I got to use them every once in a while. These collaborative or anthologies that you're in. And I think people devalue the fact that, well, I wrote a chapter in this book, so it really ain't my book. It's somebody else's book. Excuse my language, because I just came from church, but I'll be damned. You mean to tell me I wrote a whole chapter? It's in a book, and I can use this to market? You better believe I'm gonna be out there pushing that book and pointing people to my chapter, because my chapter is still my words. Those are still my words that can create those opportunities for me. But the one thing I want to break down, and unpack, is all this value that you're giving people with years upon years upon years of experience, that have sold hundreds of thousands of copies of their own books, and they're pouring into these new authors. And you threw up the hood flag. Free 99. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, where they do that at?
They don't. And
They don't.
that has something to do, Sugar Ray, with my heart for helping others. I wanted to make sure that the up and coming authors know how to compete in this industry. So there's a whole bunch of things I want to say
Oh, yeah.
about this industry, but I will say this, we don't have the time, but I will say this. I have a responsibility because of what I know and what I have learned to share that with others.
Mhm.
Now, the truth of the matter is, yes, with technology being the way it is, you can write a book in a day. You can. But I'm talking to people who have heart projects.
Come on.
I'm talking to people who have been through something and they think that their experience can help somebody. I'm talking to somebody who, uh, as a little girl or a little boy or whatever, wanted to tell a fiction story, got an idea, and now you are mature enough to conceptualize that and put it on paper. I'm talking to those people who have a heart for the industry and want to make a difference in the world. So there is no excuse not to write. I know it takes courage for me to write my memoir. I'm going to be honest with you. I cried a lot
Mm-hmm.
when I was writing that book. But now I'm writing fiction and I laugh a lot. Okay. So it's a process. But in true transparency, when they told me at that writing conference that nobody would want to read my book because I wasn't Oprah, I literally threw the manuscript in the trash. But it wasn't until God touched my heart and I had to literally go pull that manuscript out the trash and relook at it and say, how do I make this effective? And I found a way. I found a way. And in my finding a way, I want to help you find your way.
Come on.
You don't have to go through the same things that Sugar and I went through in our first publishing of the book because you got experts. Back in the day, and I know you're gonna say gray hair, oh, there she go. Back in the day, she walked 2 miles to school. No, back in the day, we were more of a community, and so we help people
Come on.
walk in their true calling. I don't want to lose that. Yeah, I know we live in a digital society. I love my stuff. I like Go High Level and I like Chapterly and I like all those AI things that make what I do easier. But that doesn't mean that my heart isn't in those things. And so my heart is to help you write a good book. And yes, Sugar Ray does the same thing I do to a certain degree. We might have a different target audience, but it's not about competition, it's about community.
Collaboration. Mm-hmm. And community.
And I can tell you, based on what we see happening in the earth right now, this division and dissension, you better find your tribe.
Come on. Talk about it. Talk
Yeah.
about it.
You better find this Lone Ranger stuff. You better find your tribe. Your team, your production team will make the dream work for you. I promise you that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And listen, I like all of that. It is, as you said, sharing our expertise, right? We have to, not everybody is going to share from a true place of expertise. And I know for a fact, yeah, what we do is similar but different because what you do is help people with the writing side of it. I hate writing. I'm gonna be honest. I hate writing. Listen, you can tell me you writing about your story is about you walking out on a spaceship and you ran into some aliens and they kidnapped you. I think it's amazing because somebody out there can relate. Can I? Nope. I grew up in the hood. we not going there, right? If I start talking to my people about aliens, they're gonna say something different. But I enjoy the helping people put it together, the structure of it, and and learning how to get it out there and sell it. So yeah, we do similar stuff. We do similar stuff because we've been on similar journeys, but we can always collaborate. And believe it or not, Miss Sharon has been part of my community for a long time. I just
Oh,
don't share my entire community with everybody because I've learned over the years, unfortunately, you can't share everything with everybody
mm-mm.
because everybody's not rooting for you. They're getting close enough to you to try to borrow from you. And one thing I love about Miss Sharon and what she's saying is absolutely when you help others, that is a passion project. That's not necessarily something that you can, it's not something that is easy because a lot of times what people think is the lifeguard is the one who goes in the boat or who goes in the water, and it's just this easy transition to pull people out of the water. No, usually the lifeguard is the person who's getting punched and kicked on the way out of the water because these people are fighting to hold on to their lives in the water, but with new authors they're fighting to hold on to their beliefs. And a lot of times when people are fighting to hold on to their beliefs, they're punching and kicking and screaming at you who is ready to filter in a new set of beliefs and say, wait a minute, if you do it this way, I can show you the shortcut to your success. So I root for you as we gear up for the 2024 is entrepreneurship
No, Authorship Summit.
Authorship Summit. Listen, don't beat me up. I'm a little guy. I cry real easy.
I love you. No, I love you. Look, I'll hug you. You be all right.
And I love you back. Listen, we got to take another quick break for those that take care of us, and then we will be back shortly in about another 2 and 2.
Experience with BOBM has been the most outstanding experience I've ever experienced in my life. I'm gonna try to get through this without emotionally breaking down. When I didn't see a way, BOBM, Sugar Ray Destin, saw a way for me to be able to put everything that was inside of me out into and onto paper to where I was able to see something good that I didn't think was no good come out. When I look at everything that BOBM that I've learned that's been deposited into me, I realized that everything that I thought was of no good, that meant nothing to me, it was something. BOBM helped me to connect with myself in a powerful way to where I'm able to birth out things to where I want to be able to help people. I want to see people grow. I want to see people develop. I want to see people that think things that's impossible can be possible. I found that through BOBM when I didn't even see a way, but BOBM saw a way.
Hey, listen, let Miss Nisi tell it. Miss Nisi has an amazing, powerful story. Um, I can't tell all of her story. I'm just gonna tell y'all, get pick up one of the books that either she's written, the Manifestation Journal, the Universal Manifestation Journal, the Winning Mindset she was a part of. Um, there's a new book that she was a part of. She's been doing the thing. She's been out here really making moves and connecting with other authors. And when I tell you, if she supports you, and that is rare, like you said, in this industry. But back to Miss Sharon, Miss Jenkins, listen. Um, this authorship, I got it right. The 2024 Authorship Summit. Let's get some of the details, because I know there's some people who want to get registered, who want to join, whether they're watching live or they're coming back and watching the replay. What's the link where people can actually hop on, and you've already given us the price. The price is free 99. Free 99, 34 speakers, powerhouse speakers. We ain't, yeah, powerhouse speakers. We just gonna leave it right there.
From all different genres. We have all kinds of people. But anyway, I actually put the link in the chat. So, how do we switch that? How do we,
Okay, I got you.
okay? Because we want you to come. Don't miss this opportunity. Look, it's available each day for 24 hours. 24 hours. And I mean, even if you can look at one session a day, you are contributing to your business. Okay. And that's so very important. When you contribute to your business, how do you become successful? You are consistently doing things to improve who you are, what you're doing, and how you're doing it. And you are connecting with the who you're doing it for. So let us help you. That's the important thing. Let us help you. You might have been thinking about writing a book. You might be sitting behind your computer, a little timid, maybe a little scared. It's okay. I was scared. I'm not going to lie to you. I was scared because every author, bestseller on down, first time author, ask this question. Even bestseller authors ask this question now. Who's going to want to read something I wrote? Who's going to want to read something I wrote? Sometimes you just got to do it, the Nike commercial. You just have to do it. It's good to know who your audience is and who you're writing to. I would recommend you do that, know that before you put pen to paper. But sometimes those heart projects, they just pop up. And you're writing and writing and writing, and you don't know who it's for. And that's okay too. So we want to invite you to come, and we want you to know we love you. And a bad connection will stay. Oh, okay. Well, we hope you can get the replay, but we want you to know that we love you. And that's why we do what we do. Y'all don't know how much this, look, when you see the summit, you're going to be like, for free, for real? You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. But, and I want to thank you personally, Sugar Ray, for having me on today. I want to thank you for catching the vision. I want to thank you for showing up to help others. And I want to thank you for being a dream maker, not a dream breaker.
Come on.
See, what people don't realize, it gives us great joy to see you the very first time you hold that book in your hand and there is your name on it. It's just like you birthed your first baby. And we get this feeling in our gut because we know we have answered the call and we have finished the course. We ran the race with you and we have finished the course. And we can see that unconditional love that you have for that book in your hand. And that's, if I could do what I do for just to see you look like that, that would be great. But we live in a real world. And the real world requires me to pay mortgage, car payment, all
Mhm.
that wonderful kind of stuff. But this is my contribution to your success. Why? Because I believe in you. I mean, no one, when I was reading those books as a kid, could have told me that I could become an author. No one did. And when I went to that writers' conference and they told me I had to be open before somebody would read my book, that just reinforced all those negative stereotypes that have been built in me over the years. So, can you imagine how I felt the very first time I picked up a book and my name was
Your
on it?
name on it. Man, come
It
on.
was healing, it was confirmation, it was God. I'm going to be real. It was God. So, if you want to write a book, you need to come to this summit. And it's free for a reason.
I still remember my first.
Baby,
The baby.
baby. You deserve to have that experience. Don't let anybody take it away from you. And that's why I'm sitting here today talking to you, because somebody tried to take it away from me.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
said, not so, not so. Once I knew that God was in the equation, it was a not so for me.
Absolutely. Listen, I have a similar story. When I before I started speaking or writing, I still remember I remember this statement, but it was said, but it wasn't said in malice, right? Because I've had some statements that were said in malice. This one was the lady who told me this. I was at a Toastmasters meeting and she said, "You speak well." She said, "But you haven't done anything yet." And I said, "Huh?" What she was saying was, go get some of that street cred and then watch how many doors start opening, because she was actually a professional humorist. Um and so the fact that she told me that, it was from a place of gentle love. But I've also had other people who came at me a little bit sideways, and in my younger days I probably reacted a little bit different than I would now.
I understand.
Yeah, there's a few words that I choose not to use in this current state of mind. But I am so honored to be. I'm actually, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually going to be one of these speakers that is amongst this 34 that Ms. Jenkins continues to talk about. And so just the fact that I'm being included in the 2024 Authorship Summit is amazing. And I know, like, I can't speak for everybody. I don't know all the other speakers, but I know personally that these what is it now? I've been published for almost 10 years, since 2015. In that small amount of time that I've been published, I've gotten some bruises, I've gotten some scars, but I've learned so much about how to write the book, how to turn that book. Let me say it like this. I've had people come to me and say, "Man, I want my cover to look a whole lot different." Somebody blessed me with this cover, and I'm covering the top up because there's something on the top that's private information. But there was somebody who did this for me. I said I needed a cover. I didn't know where to get my cover done. I didn't know graphic designers at that point. I told them on Sunday morning that I needed a cover. Tuesday afternoon, I had the cover in my hands. So it was done. It was done with love. That book started a youth program that impacted kids in Central Texas. Still impacting those kids. That book took me around the world as a speaker. That book allowed my son to dream and at the age of 9 publish his first book. That book, I can keep going, but just based on that book, there's so many things that came from it. And these are the things that Miss Jenkins as a visionary wants to allow other artists to experience. That we, if I can throw my hat in there with you, want others to experience as new artists and to understand you don't have to do this alone. We've I promise you, I'm bald headed with all these grays in my beard. I'm actually 22, but because of all the bumps and bruises that I've been through, um, I've learned as well. And so we bumped our head. We've shattered the glass. We've knocked on that glass ceiling and cracked that mug open and said, "Come on, listen," because there aren't a lot of people who know what it takes to really make this dream a reality. So I salute you for jumping in and saying, I can do it. I'm going to bring some trailblazers with me, and we're going to open some of these doors for other entrepreneurs that are coming behind. So I'm going to say to you, I celebrate your brilliance. I celebrate your fortitude. I celebrate your level of excellence to bring people together to get this summit done, because it's not just going to be amazing. It's going to be life changing. It's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be something where there are going to be hundreds and thousands of authors who, within the next year, are putting their books out because they saw the vision, they caught the vision, and they caught fire with that, with the gifts that they wanted to bring forth and bring to light. So I'm going to say I salute you, and I'm looking forward to this authorship summit, which is happening very.
Oh,
Hmm?
it's happening tomorrow.
It's happening tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow. So if you have not registered, let me go ahead and put that website up there one more time for you. Um, it's www.entrepreneurialarthursummit.com. www.entrepreneurialarthursummit.com. And I know I talk Texas, so if you East Coast, if you West Coast, and you can't understand the R's and the U's that I use, just go ahead and look at that link, www.entrepreneurialarthursummit.com. The link is also in the chat, in the notes. So we want to see you there. We want to see you visually or virtually on this summit.
Sugar Ray, I forgot to tell these folks
Go ahead.
they're getting a Summit notebook and also a Summit magazine.
Come on.
All this for free.
Y'all know I ain't put this on because it's gonna be more than free 99.
Look, Summit magazine and Summit notebook for free.
Listen,
Wow.
y'all getting all of this, and it is not free nine. It's not costing you a penny. If you don't register,
What can I say?
if
All I
you
can
don't,
tell you, the next time we do it, it may not be free 99.
oh listen, we gonna talk after this because we're gonna talk after this because I'm gonna tell you now that we ain't we can't do the free 99s. If here's why. And I'm not saying I love the free 99 because we want to give back. But for those of you who are waiting on that chance, because the number one reason that people turn around when it's time to get that book done is that they don't have the funds to invest, right? I've had people that we hear it all the time. Different reasons. Somebody in your family is always gonna have some health issues. Somebody's always gonna have a financial burden that they need. Rent is always gonna be due. Your investment in yourself is a one-time thing. This is free 99. So that free 99 means you ain't gotta pay nothing. You're getting the Summit workbook. You're getting the Summit magazine. You're getting access to 34 phenomenal speakers who have been in this industry from all different backgrounds, all different genres. So there's somebody who's going to be speaking directly to you. So if you have not registered yet, make sure you the click on the link either in the Facebook, LinkedIn chat, or you Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube chat, or you go to www.entrepreneurialauthorsummit.com and make sure you register, because like Jenkins said, it's free this time. I'm gonna just leave it right there. Y'all know the rest. It's free this time. Invest in yourself and invest in your dreams and believe that it can be.
And it
Ms.
can be.
Absolutely.
And it can be.
And Ms. Jenkins, you have anything you wanna empower the people with before we end it?
I just want to say we live in a microwave society where things happen quickly. And who am I to say that you won't have a suddenly experience once you publish your book or whatever? But I will say this: if you are about leaving a literary legacy for future generations, now is the time to do it. When you see a public school system being dismantled, when you see family units being divided, in the midst of that, the very foundation of truth that empowers you as an individual to be all that you can be is being destroyed. So, what's going to be the glue that keeps us keeping on in the midst of all this craziness? Community, collaboration, consistency, and love for one another. Leave a literary legacy. Don't let somebody else write your history, her story, his story. Do not leave the face of this earth and let somebody else tell your story, because they're going to leave out some important details and they may change it to reflect their purpose, their ill attempt. Write your story. Please write your story.
There you go. There you have it. Listen, we have been live with Sharon C. Jenkins, the Master Communicator, founder of the 2024 Authorship Summit. If you have not registered, I just kind of took a peek at the website, and I know some of those authors. And yeah, some of those people on there, y'all need to be in the room. A lot of times you just got to be in the room. So make sure you get in the room. We will see you on the Authorship Summit tomorrow, starting tomorrow. Listen, until next week, we will see y'all. Love y'all. Until next time.
Thank you.